guys. Appreciate it. Nice eggs. Garlic certainly is. Got a lovely bit of garlic here, so I'm going to take these off. So let me grab my knife. So give my knife a little bit of a wash. And what we're going to do is take the skin off this now, and we're going to grate it. Chop up a little bit of onion for the base as well, with some peppers. So if you're not very comfortable using your knife and you're not very, I'd say experienced with your knife, or comfortable using it the way I do, then just use your fingers to take the skin off if you want. Whatever's comfortable and safe for you guys, more than anything. So what I'm going to do, grab my micropane. I'm going to grate off this garlic. So, I mean, as I said, this is a fantastic way as well. I mean, your hands were going to smell of garlic a little bit, but to be fair with you, I do prefer grating it through to get a nice puree, so it's not all like very chunky. Wouldn't be easier to crush it. It could be, but I want to grate it through the grater. Now, if I crushed it, then it would be a little bit harder to push through the grater itself. But yeah, it's a great way to take off the skins for sure. If you're doing large amounts, then you just pop them in a box and give them a good shake, and the skins should all come off. But yeah, I mean, if it's sort of like one or two, I mean, you could do, but because I'm putting it through a grater, if you crush it, it's going to be a little bit harder to push through the grater, and it's going to be all over the place. So, but yeah, you can do. It's entirely up to you guys. Oh no, I think I'm starting to get sick. You're not feeling too good, are you, Nefarians? Stat of vitamin C. My goodness. I hope you feel better anyway, my friend. I hope things are okay for you. So, I'm going to cut these off the side so we can get rid of the cores. If you want to use the outsides or whichever you want to, it's entirely up to you. So I'm going to get them diced up. I'm going to dice up an onion next as well. So let's cut this off. I'm going to get some chili in there. I'm going to grate up some ginger as well. So while we got the micropane here, we will actually get the ginger grated as well. So just getting things all prepped up, ready for it. So that water's pretty much up to the boil, so we can start dropping the greens in there. We don't want to cook them for too long, right? So all I want to do is cook them for about roughly 2 minutes. So these are pretty much come up to the boil. So what we're going to do, I'm going to drop these in. So drop in the sugar snaps. I'm going to drop in the asparagus. I'm going to drop in the green beans as well. They're not going to take long at all. So I'm just going to give them about 2 minutes, and then we're going to refresh them under cold water to stop that kind of cooking process as such. Oh my goodness. Black Wolfster, thank you so much for the host. Appreciate it. How are you doing today, Black Wolfster? Welcome back. I eat garlic almost every day. Yeah, I think garlic's very, very good for you indeed. And it's probably one thing that you want to kind of eat on a regular kind of basis. I like it. I love it. And I use it quite a lot. So, yeah, why not? Yeah, some people might not like it for sure. Some people eat it, some people don't. Whatever. Everyone's got different taste buds. That's the great thing about it. And not everyone's going to enjoy the same foods. Maybe that I cook or other people cook. Everyone's got different taste buds for sure. So, you want to kind of adapt things. If I say, for example, I make a recipe, right? And there's certain items in there that you don't like. Then you just substitute them and you can still make the same kind of similar dish. That's the whole thing about cooking. It's just about adapting and adjusting ingredients for a recipe, and so you're going to enjoy it a lot more. I think it's very important. People can get very scared about cooking and like, oh no, I can't put that ingredient in there, it's not going to work. It's all about experimenting, trying, and even if it doesn't work, that's a great thing. It's a positive thing because you're learning. You've got to make mistakes to actually learn. If you don't make mistakes, you'll stand still, you won't learn. That's with anything in life, not just cooking. You've got to be take that step forward and be brave and just try things. Honestly, cooking's not that difficult. It really isn't. I've done it for 13 years. When I first started, I was very scared of it, and I was I'd say I didn't have very much confidence when I first started cooking. And but now I'm totally different, and I'm very, very happy the way I am, and I enjoy cooking. I love cooking. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, when I first started off, it was a little bit scary, and I didn't know how to do things. And when somebody gave me a recipe and said, right, make this, and I'll be like, oh my god. And then I make it and I'll be like, oh, that wasn't so bad. So, do you know what I mean? It's just about getting comfy and, you know, kind of getting used to making recipes and things, it's not too difficult. It really isn't. Cooking is fun most of the time. Yeah, and sometimes it can be a little bit daunting, or depending on what you're making. Maybe it's some kind of, you know, pastry items, which can be very difficult at times to do, or certain techniques, you know, whichever it may be. So what I'm doing now, guys, I'm just draining off the greens, putting cold water in them, so I'm going to refresh them, terminology we usually use in the cooking industry. So I'm going to stop that cooking process by running them under cold water, so that'll stop that cooking, so they won't go dark green. We want to keep it a nice bright light green, so we can add them near the end. So we've got some lovely veggies to go with it. Where are we at now? Making ramen is not fun. I mean, it depends. Some people like make certain things. It depends if you're making traditional ramen. I mean, I make a quick way of making it and a healthier option, and I really enjoy making it. But yeah, the old traditional method, sometimes it can be very long-winded indeed. I started cooking as a teenager, and it didn't take me long to make scones, cakes before long, and I was cooking dinner for the whole family when I was like 14. Exactly, you just kind of get into it sometimes. Sometimes you might start off at a young age. Maybe you've never done cooking before, and you know, you're at I don't know, 30 years old or something, and you know, it does happen. People sometimes might be ashamed, or like, oh, I don't want to say I can't cook. Honestly, guys, if you don't know anything, or don't feel ashamed, honestly, anyone can cook at any time, do you know what I mean? And some people have never learned to cook. There's never better time now than never, do you know what I mean? So it's never too late to actually learn how to cook. It certainly isn't. So we've got our beautiful greens, so they've cooled off nicely. So I'm going to drain them off into the sieve, and we're just going to set them aside. So got some nice beautiful bright greens now to go through there. So what we got our raw beans, or string beans, sorry. We got our sugar snaps in here as well. We got our asparagus. So we've got a good assortment of fresh, delicious greens that we want to use. So I'm going to set them aside. I'm going to put them on the back there because it's nice and cold on there. So that's fine. So we'll leave them there. They're nice and cool now. I mean, from scratch, like when you have to boil bones from stock. Yeah, I mean, it does take a few days, especially with the stocks and things. It's very time-consuming, but that time-consuming, you want to think about it. It's like an investment for a delicious flavor. So you're going to get an amazing flavor out of it at the end of it. So, you know, it can be, for sure. Chef, how healthy is banana bread? It depends how you made the banana bread, Lilith. If it's got like large amounts of butter and things, then yeah, you know, banana bread isn't the most healthiest thing. But there are ways around it to make alternative, healthier things, and to add like different types of kind of lower amounts of sugars and things. So, oh, those sugar peas, yeah, we call them sugar snaps. Same thing. I started cooking as a teenager when the rest of my became vegetarians. Traditional way though. Oh, okay. Yeah, traditional ways. Very long indeed. And family. Yeah, I think it's very important, you know, to kind of start learning about cooking, and to, you know, start building up your base for your knowledge or your repertoire for cooking. So I think it is that important indeed. Right, we're gonna get some ginger. Add this to the garlic. So let's have a looky. Got some little cheeky bit of ginger here. So take a little bit of knob of ginger there. Pop the rest of this back in the fridge. So what we're going to do, give this a peel as well. Where is my peeler? Ah, it's over here. Beautiful. If you ever never try, you will always be afraid of cooking, and done my fair share of disasters, burning foods. Yeah, you got to make mistakes to actually learn, for sure, and push on. My family, oh my goodness, I can't keep up with chat today. It's crazy. Crazy stuff, so I love it. My family random turned vegetarian too. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we do some vegetarian dishes now and again, and there's nothing wrong with them. I'm a bit of on the fence on it. I like to have vegetarian dishes, and I like to have some meat dishes. I like to have a good balance, for sure. I'm horrible about making pastries, but cooking, on the other hand, sure, maybe not as good as you, chef, but by far, but I can cook and pride myself on being able to cook. Yeah, I think it is important, you know. Well, practice makes perfect, as they say. You know, I'm not the most perfect chef in the world. Do you know what I mean? Nobody's perfect. We're human beings. I still make mistakes this day and age. So, you know, it doesn't matter how professional of a chef you are. You will make mistakes now and again. Hey, chef, how do you cook pasta so it doesn't stick? Basically, just make sure the water's hot, then you give it a stir when you dropped it in, and Do you mean like when you take it out to drain it? When you drain it off, you usually can just add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil just to help it and mix it up, and it shouldn't really shouldn't stick. Cheeky, certainly is. I want to make some banana bread because I have some bananas about in the good bad. I want to make it healthier. Try and see if I can make it like that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just all about reducing the fats and sugars and maybe using alternatives from sugars, like maybe using a bit of honey. You know, there are ways around it for sure. Maybe I'll make some at some point, Lilith Luna. Is chat beamed straight to his head? Yeah, certainly is. I like to kind of keep up with chat, and I like to keep talking to you guys. And, you know, as well as it being a cooking show and stuff, I like to kind of interact with you and answer your questions, because I love answering your questions and teaching you guys different things, so I enjoy it. Or does he have it on every wall in his house? No, I've got like I've got a screen monitor right in front of me, and I've also got a monitor over there in the corner, which is where you can't see me. So I have to, my mouse and that is over in the corner, so I can only read what's on chat, and then if it goes above, then I have to move the chat again. So I do like to keep up with chat as much as I can. If I do miss your questions, guys, please don't feel offended. Just repost it, and I'll just read it. Or if you do at Chef John Reed, then I can more than likely highlight it and see it. Sometimes I even miss them as well. I used to drop a little olive oil in the water, help keep it from sticking, but I really never need to anymore. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's like, you know, if you're going to use it straight away, then yeah, I'd say, but if you leave it on the side, it's got a chance of it sticking indeed. Cool it off in cold water, it won't stick. When it cools down, dehydrates, and then when it sticks. Love to see that, Chef. If you get around to it, I would love to see what you'd put in it to make it healthier. Yeah, of course, definitely. I mean, I think I'll just be using basically just lower sugars and lower fats in there. That's pretty much it, really, Liluna. I'll probably use a 0% fat, a low sugar yogurt as well. There's a Greek yogurt I use, which is called Faye, and it's a fantastic product. And I use that in cakes and breads and things, and it really comes out really delicious and moist and soft. So I might probably use that as well. Is he peeler quicker than doing the spoon trick with the ginger? I find it easier. I mean, I've got my peeler right in front of me, but I always find peeling it's just as quick, to be fair with you. Chef, I'm horrible at making pastries, but good on the other hand. Sure, maybe not as good as Chef Bafar, but I can cook. Pride myself on being able to cook. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, it's just, as I said to you before, it's just practice makes perfect. You know, you just keep practicing and you will get better as time goes on. Where are we at now? Licking grated garlic. Amazing. Moist and soft, certainly is. Thank you, Chef, and I'll take those tips into account. Awesome, I'm glad I can help. Right, so what we're going to do, so we've got our garlic, we've got our ginger, we're going to chop up our peppers now as well. So we're going to give these a bit of a dice, and we're going to have a little bit of onion as well. If you want to put like red onion on that, you can do. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to have a good dice of bell peppers here. I'm going to get some